Hi everyone and welcome back to Miss Crafts Lots Lair. I am Barbie and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Beloit, Wisconsin. And today I am here to show you how to make this card. Now this is more of a technique card than a, oh my gosh, look at this really cute card. Because I wanted to show you how to make the background for this stamp, or for this particular card. It's going to be a little bit messy. And actually going to, I thought it was a little too much for the three, so I'm going to just do the two colors. It is the Pretty Peacock? Yep, Pretty Peacock and the Pear Pizzazz. So, real fast. Pretty easy for materials today. It is, well, yeah. So we have the Pear Pizzazz card base. This is my go-to 8.5 by 5.5. Come to find out, that is only American measurements. Apparently I didn't realize this until recently, but there are different size cards. So if you are in a different country, switch it up to your size card. Yeah. So, like I said, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4, and then a piece of watercolor paper, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. So it's got this nice little frame around the card. Scrap piece of paper, Whisper White, because we are going to be using the Crafting Forever stamp set. And we're going to be using the paintbrush holder and the do something creative every day, because right now we need to be a little on the creative side, saying that the majority of us are probably stuck in our homes. So that being said, let's start. This is going to be a kind of a messier project. So this is actually, I'm kind of a keeper, and I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect to put the front of a card in. This is actually one of the plastic containers that mushrooms, sliced mushrooms come in. I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the perfect size for a front of a card. So when I was done making my dinner, I washed it out and have kept it. Comes in really handy, especially for the messier kinds of cards. So as I said, Pear Pizzazz and Pretty Peacock. I also have my Rich Razzleberry out to kind of give an extra. Rich Razzleberry was used in this card, and I'm probably going to be using it just to color in the a couple of things as well. Keep that color in there. Whisper White Baker's Twine stays on jet black. And Spritzers. And you're also going to want to use, I prefer to use, I don't have my label fell off. This is actually the Tombow glue, the mono glue. Like I said, the label fell off and I just, whatever, I wasn't going to argue with it anymore. So this is actually, I kind of tend to like this a little bit more when I'm using this kind of technique, because you will see that the paper is going to want to like curl up on us. And so this actually holds it down really well when you want to put it on the front of your card. So actually, no snail right now. So I'm going to start off with my scrap piece of paper just in case I get wild and crazy. I did this. There's another way that you can do this where you scribble all over a black, spray it, and then put the black down on your paper. This is what I came up with. Didn't care for it so much. So, that being said, I'm going to turn this sideways because I'm going to take the marker end of my Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just going to kind of scribble all over the top half of this card. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll see why here in just a second when I start spritzing. Because now I am going to take the Pretty Peacock. So if you haven't gotten any of these markers yet, these are the Stampin' Right markers. And if you haven't gotten any of these markers yet, that's kind of why I'm like, it's not exactly really per se a cheap project. Because you're going to need the Pretty Peacock marker. The markers don't come individually like the Stampin' Blends do. So you'd have to buy an entire collection. So for the Pretty Peacock, it is the 2019-2021 marker set for in colors. And then for the Pear Pizzazz, it's actually the Subtles, and then the Rich Razzleberries and the Regals. So it's actually 3 sets of markers you're going to need. Which, I mean, if you're into buying a lot of markers right now. So I'm going to plop this booger, technical terms here, straight up into my little container here and take out my spritzer. Now, I have this filled with water. You can do an alcohol mix for certain things. You can do the plain water. I like the plain water. You can also actually turn these into your own color misters by dropping a drop or two of your Stampin' refill into this and mixing it up with water or alcohol, and you have your spritz. I just wanted to keep it clear. So I'm doing it this way. And I see, there I'm going. This is the lid. Take the lid off. This is the spray nozzle. Leave that on. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is going the right way. And I'm going to spritz around this. And wherever you colored is going to run a bit. I'm going to put a little extra on my Pear Pizzazz edge. And it's probably going to soak it pretty good. So, kind of see how it is wanting to curl up and bow at us. And you're going to have the little drips of whatnot. So, if you want to make this go a little bit faster, which for time's sake I'm going to do, you can go ahead and dab some of this away. And it's going to take a little bit of the color off too, so it's not going to be quite as dark. And you're also probably going to get inky fingers, so it's going to happen. Inevitably, you're going to have inky fingers. So, I'm going to put that in there. And I have another little tip. The Stampin' Up! Embossing gun, heat tool, actually works really good to dry this off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start this off, and I will be back with a dry sheet of paper. Alright, so we have this all nice and dry. And I just wanted to point out too, with the Stampin' Up! Version of the heat tool, you have actual different temperature settings, kind of a low and a high. I like to go on one which is kind of a lower speed for most of my stuff, actually, just for the fact that I don't want to burn my fingers. That, and I also don't want to scorch paper or anything, and I just have a bad habit of scorching paper. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the paintbrush here. And go ahead, and this is going to get fussy cut anyway, so it really doesn't matter where I put it on here, because we all know I love my fussy cutting. I don't know why I just put that away because I'm going to be needing it here again soon. Anywho. Let's see, where did my peacock go? So I'm going to color this up here and start off with my Pear Pizzazz. And this kind of reminds me of a little like terracotta planner. I'm in this whole Pear Pizzazz mood right now. I have no clue. I'll blame it on the weather, and I want to see some spring stuff going on here. Yes, my thinking has a soundtrack. But yes, color this in quick. I'm sure most of us know how to color, but I will say, if you're new to the markers, you don't have to push very hard. As a matter of fact, you push too hard, you're gonna break. You're gonna break your nib. I think it's what it's called. So you don't want to push too hard. Just nice and lightly go, and you can tell how hard you need to push, and that way you aren't destroying your markers. Same goes with the blends. The blends you don't have to push very hard with either. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this out quick, and I'm probably going to fast forward this for you and jump right to it being nice and fussy cut right here. And just like that, YouTube magic. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead real fast here, bring my StazOn back out again, and I am going to stamp the sentiment, do something creative every day. And I want to put that up in the top-ish left-hand corner. Who cares if it's straight right now, just for the fact that it's kind of a crazy, wacky card anyway. So we're going to show you how to do that. And dimensional. And I probably kind of over-dimensional. I've probably said this before. I will say it again. I probably over-dimensional just for the fact that I don't want anything to fall through. Bring my snips back out again and go ahead and cut up some of the side dimensional here. I think I can get away with one more right there. Right? Yeah. So as I said, the liquid Tombow glue is going to make this stick so much nicer than the snail, because it's going to cause a little too much stress and it's going to pull away on the snail. So we're using the liquid glue, plus it kind of gives a little bit of wiggle room here too, because things are kind of askew. Hold it down for just a second here and make sure that it wants to get nice and adhered. And 3 fingers. You can do 4, but 3 fingers is what I normally go with. And then wrap your twine 3 times and snip. Take some of these dimensionals off the back. Or don't take the dimensionals off the back, take the back of the dimensional sticker off. There we go. And stick your twine down on there. So you have a little bit popping out both sides. And then this is going to go kind of, saying I did this one cockeyed that way, I'm going to go this way for this one then. Just to kind of even it out a little bit. Take your pick tool and some of the pearl rhinestones just to add a little bit of bling to this. And this time I think, this one I put the 3 on this side. This time I think I'm going to put 1 up here and 2 down here. So you take a pick tool, gets right under there, and you can slide it right off. Makes it so much nicer, so much easier when you're not fighting with it to get on there like this one. Ta-da! There we go. And just like that, we have a finished card. I hope you liked this. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I have all of my social links down at the bottom, as well as my new Patreon link. So that's all ready to go and ready for patrons. I have any orders that you put in. Now I'm just going over news. Any orders you put in here in the next bit will take a little bit longer to get to you, but they didn't forget about you. So if you like this card, if I haven't said it already, if you do like this card, please like, share, and subscribe. There's plenty more videos to watch, and until next time.